And today's, ladies and gents, we are looking at Movie 1 Voyager Ironhide. Pretty much one of my favorite actual characters from the actual movie series. R.I.P. spoiler for number 3? Which, it just made me even more sad when that actually happened in the third movie. I really love and dug this character. And apparently he did a lot of stuff in the expanded universe, both in pretty much in all the expanded comics. He did a lot. He was one of the key people who interacted in between the Nest people and the Autobots. But anyway, here is the actual Voyager, and I know he's gonna be kind of tough to see thanks to the black background, but last minute I couldn't really get anything else to help break it up. But he is a different shade than what I'm used to having. He is a GMC. Oh god, I can't remember. He's a modified GMC. I remember that for sure. And one of the key features that they actually put on this was that his tailgate actually had the Autobot symbol, and they showed it really quickly. But in the actual movie, that was there. So I thought, okay, that's a nice little touch. Actual translucent windows for the front and sides, but it's painted on the back because that needs to be painted because that is one solid piece of plastic right there. And his guns store on the bottom, but you can remove them if you want a little bit more of a natural look. But of course, since they actually store on the actual arms down here on the bottom, like so, and on both sides, it is actually very easy to keep track of them. And you can tell they actually kept this throughout most of the toy line, because either his weapons stored on him, or like in the upcoming masterpiece, his guns will store on the bottom. It's just because the way this truck is naturally, and I mean naturally, this is a high-rise truck, where thanks to the suspension being so far up, it does have that natural clearance just to stick them on the bottom. And of course, being a high-rise truck, it does roll very, very well. Anywho, let's get on the transformation, because this guy is kind of a doozy. How you first start things off is to come here to the back and pull these off, and you're gonna have to undo the doors. Oh no, you're gonna pull down the bumper first. Oh god, I forgot. Is it the doors? Oh snap. Okay. Pull down the arms. Okay, there we go. And basically, thanks to his auto transformation feature is that these spring up into his actual chest panel, and that will make things a whole lot easier. And let me just okay. And the reason why we pull these off is because that was hanging onto the back. Let's pull that like so. Pull this down. Yeah, this part gets really. And now we're going to twist the waist around while trying to avoid all the flipping kibble and bits and kibble. And we can go ahead and just flatten out this part and bring that down. And when you bring that down, it will make the head pop up. And when you bring the head up, like so, it's a very flat face. We all know his face was a lot more rounded in the actual movie, but when you actually bring these up, when you bring these up, you'll see that there's an actual peg in the hole, and that'll fit just like so, very nicely hiding the wheels. But of course, now we have to rotate these around, pull this out, and that will complete his chest. And we're just going to come over here. Now, these on mine are super tight. And these make me so worried because they're on clear plastic. So which means, eventually, if I keep transforming it like this, the hinges might wear away. Now when it comes to the actual chest, it basically varies depending on your model. But you can actually bring these down, and it'll actually hold it in place to help fill. Uh-oh, come on. Are you recording? Okay, you're recording. Okay, and my storage went full. Okay, and to quickly to complete the legs, all I had to do is just split them apart move this to the side because this will get caught. And just, at the same time, pull down the heel and the foot. The tire will go back. This go to the side, exposing the rest of the leg. And second burst, just like this. Boom, just like that. Unless you pull the heel down, like I did, like a goofus. And you just, this will not go in all the way. It'll go in about halfway like that. And make his body lean forward, giving him the appearance of even more mass. And of course, you just turn his arms around. Like so. And there you have... Ooh. Movie 1, Ironhide. A pretty... Okay, for a first run at how the figure is supposed to look off of the movie, I think he was one of the better, larger figures to get not as close as possible, but he got somewhere in the ballpark. It's mostly due to the actual chest panels actually being part of the actual truck, and it naturally being natural to the basically how he was formed. Now what about posability and everything? Well, he actually is pretty posable for the big guy. He has universal joints in the actual shoulders, and you are going to have to be careful about that waist joint because it will pop up out of itself, and you can just click it right back. Universal joints in the shoulders, a 90-degree bended elbow, a wrist swivel. Now the cool thing is, thanks to the way his guns are, which are all pretty well close to how they were in the movie, detail-wise, I mean. Of course, they still have to they had to exaggerate some things to keep the gimmick alive. Which, tubes, actual missiles. And one thing you can actually do with the actual guns is you can actually see these little black bits that are pushed down. Well, you can actually put this in here, basically loading it, locking it together, and now you can actually fire the missiles off. And of course, they're pressure release missiles, so you don't have to worry about any kind of springs or anything breaking, or springs or anything that's sort of failing down the road. And that's also another reason why. Now, of course, now the trouble is getting this thing back off. I will just leave it on for the rest of the thing, for the rest of the view. Universal hip joints. Knee thigh swivel because it's right above the knee. And thanks to the way the feet transform, you really have little to no articulation. And the way his body actually is, not his body, his design. The paint detailings on this thing are sparse, but basically they are needed where they are needed, basically. Ugh. I'm sorry, it's been a long day for me. Yard work, you gotta love it. And try to get close up on his face here. Ooh. Let's see if I can. Ah! Don't eat the camera. I should pull this down. There we go. It does not do him any justice. And they actually kept this mold. They actually kept this head sculpt for a little bit until I want to say third movie. But the deluxe, and pretty much the deluxe that came out in Revenge of the Fallen, instantly solved any problem with this at all. But the thing is about it is that the transformation is actually very fun for me. So I can instantly say, if we want to go ahead and segue into the final thoughts here, he is definitely worth the pickup, especially if you want to go ahead and get the Core 5 off. So I can quickly wrap this up before I run out of space again. The detailing work on him is very sparse, but seeing how his character was kind of like the same way, it kind of matches up, and at least for me, he is actually very appealing, and I'm really glad I picked this figure up again, and I would actually recommend it to everybody out there recommend it out there who wants a complete movie 1 set. But if you actually want the definitive look for Ironhide, go after either the leader class for Dark of the Moon or the Masterpiece. Sad to say, since those two are so superior in what they do, with either for much less or complete accuracy, it completely blows this one out of the water. But for me, he does have a soft spot. Pretty much the whole first movie does. But this figure in particular does have a soft spot, mostly because of everything it was doing at the time. But saying that, I really can't say anything more about this figure. Either pick up your own, or wait for the masterpiece, or pick up the deluxe from Revenge of the Fallen or the movie Best Line. With that being said, guys, I'm out of here. I'm gone.